Have you ever wondered what space sounds like? Well, it turns out that space has its own unique sounds, from the chirping of crickets on Earth to the whistling of magnetic fields in the galaxy. And did you know that composers are using these sounds to create amazing music? But how do they do it? My friends, today we will explore how do we hear the sounds of space. Did you know that space isn't as silent as it seems? Even though it may look quiet and peaceful, there are actually a lot of sounds happening out there in the universe. The thing is, these sounds are different from what we are used to hearing on Earth, and our ears aren't designed to pick them up. These sounds can be created by things like stars exploding, planets moving through space, and even black holes colliding. So while space may seem quiet to us, it's actually a pretty noisy place if you have the right tools to listen. Hence, composers use a technique called data sonification. This process involves turning data into sound, allowing scientists and musicians to hear patterns that may not be visible in graphs and charts. So instead of just looking at it on a computer screen, we can simply hear data. This can be really helpful for scientists and researchers who are trying to understand complex data sets. By turning the data into sound, they can pick up on patterns and relationships that might be hard to see just by looking at numbers and graphs. Also, data sonification helps scientists listen to anomalies that may be difficult to see in graphs and charts. Scientists can use this technique to study a variety of objects in space, including galaxies, stars, and black holes. For example, data sonification can be used to study the movement of stars within a galaxy by converting the positions and velocities of stars into musical notes. Scientists can create an auditory representation of the galaxy. Each star is represented by a different note, and the pitch and tempo of the music reflect the star's speed and position in the galaxy. This can help scientists study the overall structure and dynamics of the galaxy. Data sonification can also be used to study black holes. When black holes collide, they create ripples in space-time called gravitational waves. Scientists can measure these waves using special detectors and then use data sonification to convert them into sound. The resulting chirps and whistles can tell us a lot about the black holes themselves, including their size, spin, and location. Awesome, right? And sonification of space also helps visually challenged people view space. Now, composers can use data sonification to turn space sounds into music. They can take the electromagnetic waves emitted by planets, stars, and other celestial bodies and turn them into notes, chords, and melodies. By using these sounds in their compositions, composers can create music that sounds truly out of the world. One example of a composer who uses space sounds in his music is Hans Zimmer, who used the sounds of Saturn's rings in his score for the movie Interstellar. Another example is the composer Timo Baker, who turned data from the Kepler Space Telescope into music. By using data sonification, he was able to create a piece of music that reflected the patterns and rhythms of the planets and stars. It's amazing, right? How different sounds of space create such beautiful music. So, the next time you hear a space themed song or sound, remember that it may have started with the sounds of the cosmos. Data sonification allows us to hear the beauty and complexity of the universe in a whole new way.